Earlier, I released a video where I was talking about the problem with Digimon Regionals in 2023. And the comment section and the messages I got following it and the Facebook, all that stuff. Definitely a lot of uniformity in the sense that people aren't as happy as they could be for a multitude of reasons. A reason that kept coming up, though, and one that I guess was an inadvertent consequence of bringing this up, was the prize support of all things. I didn't even really talk about the prize support in my regional video, but it turned out a lot of people were pretty salty about the prize support for the current regional lineup, and even the Ultimate Cup lineup. But that's kind of separate. I'll touch on a little bit in a little bit. So I want to talk about the problem with Digimon's prizing in 2023. This will obviously not be a reprint video. This is a whole new different topic, a whole new can of worms. I think this issue is less important than the actual issue with regionals. The prizing for the regionals is just a faction of that, a small part of it. I still think that regional fixing that is more important. Prize support can come later, but some people would argue that the prize support needs to be good, or people will just be pissy for the sake of being pissy as well. So we're gonna address all that in today's video. I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think about regional prizing. You can also throw in a little section about Ultimate Cup prizing if you want to, national prizing, whatever makes you happy. What do you think about prizing in big Digimon tournaments as it is in 2023? I'm curious to hear your insights. I want to know if this is just me or just a select group of people. Now, I want to give you guys a disclaimer before we start. This video will not be for some people. If you just do not care about prize support at all, you just play the game for literally fun, and if you get anything, it's an added bonus, this video is probably not for you. If you're playing regionals just for the sake of getting an invite, and if you get prizing cards, that's great. You don't care. This video is not for you. This video is more for the people that A, are looking for good reprints, and B, are looking for a good way to recoup their costs, or even possibly make money from participating in regionals. We're going to talk about all that today. So I want to show you guys the current prizing pool available to us in the regional pack. So we have an XVmon from the Imperial Starter deck, which nobody really plays. The Greymon, promo Greymon from back in the day, which you only really play in Agubond. And while it may have needed a reprint, this card's power corrupted in my opinion. A Growlmon doesn't see play anymore. That won't see play in BT12 anymore. A Geo Greymon that doesn't see play. An Agunimon that's kind of being power corrupt in BT12. A Beto Galmon with Blitz that may or may not see play when the Galmon support comes out in the future. And that's it. And Shoutmon King version, which will only see play in like one deck. There's a few problems with this prizing pool. One, there's like no good cards. I'm not talking about like, good, broken, insane cards, but like, there's almost nothing here that's super playable in the grand scheme of things, with the exception of Shoutmon King version in today's day and age. It's not that way. Not with these. They're also missing a few colors. You know what I mean? Like, did they forget that green cards exist? Did they forget that black, purple, and white cards exist? I think Bandai forgot, if you want my opinion. The last regional pack had one of everything, including Pokemon. And Pokemon, in my opinion, was a better reprint than any of these 7 cards. Any of them. Way better. The only card that makes me a little happy is Shoutmon King version. The rest is just trash. Unplayable garbage. And I say that, as a super hardcore meta person. Not like a fun deck enthusiast. That's why I said if you play Digimon for fun, you're not going to care. If anything, you might welcome some of these. Like the Greymon for your freaking Agubon deck. You might welcome some of that. But, if you're a little more serious, it's a train wreck. Now, let's go to previous prizing. We had Pokemon, right? Back in the day, we also had good cards. We had bad cards. We had the Machine Dramon parts at one point. Some of them. We had a freaking dinosaur. You know what I mean? They gave us cards that were decent. Like, I believe Lydramon. Lydramon was a good pick, for sure. So, Bandai knows how to pick good cards. Why they didn't do that for this regional pack is beyond me. It's not something in my comprehension. It's almost like Bandai grabbed a dartboard and like assigned letters and numbers to it, and they're like, okay, while the dart lands, that's the card that gets hit, and we'll do it 7 times. That's I honestly feel how they picked this, like some kind of roulette system or something, because it makes no sense. They didn't even honor all the colors. They're like green players are left to die right now with this regional pack. I will be honest and say that I'm disappointed. Going forward, we do know that they plan on printing more regional packs more often. So fortunately, these cards won't last too long. Thank God. But who's to say the next pack will be better? For all we know, it might be worse. We just don't know yet. We're hoping that Bandai takes some criticism here and actually gives us good cards. Like good cards, not bad cards, actual good cards that are seen in tier 1 meta play. That would be nice. There's a whole list of cards I could come up with that might make good reprints. You could give Agitar to the green players. You could give an Impmon to the purple players again. Like frig, you could give a black Greymon card to the Greymon players, or a red black one. You know what I mean? Like there's so much to do, and they did nothing with these cards. They did nothing. Now, why this grinds my gears maybe more than the average person? So, as you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own businesses technically. I look for opportunities to make money. I capitalize on those situations, and I make money. I do this because I want to survive. I want to save for retirement, and I want to have a nice life before that. A reasonable life, not one where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Just nice stuff. If I want to go buy a Switch game, I can do that. If I want to go eat at a restaurant 5 times a week, I can do that. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I don't have the best spending habits in the world, as you guys might be able to tell, but like I do what I do so that I can afford to do what I do, if that makes sense. Why does this come in a Digimon? Well, let's talk about the Ultimate Cup for a second. The Ultimate Cup, I came third place. Had I had come second or first, different story completely. Would I got a little more bang for my buck? But nonetheless, I came third, and I sold my Gallimon cards for around $1,500 US, and that was for third place. The line. I'm not going to specify the exact number. I don't want to out anyone's superpowers, but I did sell that line for that much. And like for some people in the States, isn't that like a minimum wage? I know in some Canadian provinces, that's basically minimum wage. You work 40 hours a week. Like that wasn't too bad. Ultimate Cups were good bang for buck for sure. But these regionals, oh my god. So I came 8th and I came 20th. My 8th place prize support for the regional, which include 2 finalist packs by the way, isn't worth that much. It's really not. Now, if I devil's advocate, you could just say, well, Mario, get better and win. And that's honestly a valid point because I could have done better. And I could have won, potentially. And if that was the case, I could have sold a champion pack. But even the champion packs are selling for less than last year's champion packs. I know that because I won champion packs last year. And I sold them. And I sold them for a good amount of money. What I've noticed about Digimon prize support in general, the overall value compared to the places is gone down in price a lot. Back in the day with the Evo Cups, if you came first, you were selling your prizing for a lot more money than today's Ultimate Cups. That was just a fact. Regional prizing, back when regionals were first starting, you could sell for a lot more than you can sell for now. Depending on what placement you get, you can compare up and down the scale. So this matters, me being an entrepreneurial person, because why would I invest time in something that does not have a good financial output to me? I love playing Digimon, but I can't deny that I might get, a little bit hung up on the financial aspect of it sometimes, right? I like to be good at the game, and I like to use my skills to potentially turn a profit when I'm playing these regionals, right? And I am turning a profit in technically every tournament I've played in so far this year. Don't get me wrong. But like, it's it's gonna sound super greedy, condescending. It's almost not worth it. You know what I mean? I every Saturday that I work, I feel like I bring in the same amount of money that a finalist pack of Digimon cards gets me. You know what I mean? Like, I could just work, get the guaranteed paycheck, or I could play in a card game tournament and gamble is the best word to use, even though it's not, yeah, it's card games, it's technically a gamble. Skill only takes you so far, blah, blah. Okay, fine, fine. That's kind of the approach that I'm coming from, right? How you can't even recoup your costs in some case. It's for people that care about that sort of thing, which they do exist, by the way. I know that because people message me and left in the comment section last video and everything else. I know they exist. It's actually a problem, like straight up. If you compare other card games, right? Other card games will allow you to basically turn a profit. Other card games might release tournament cards that are exclusive to winning tournaments that are expensive that you may or may not need for a meta deck, but it doesn't like it's not important. Now, people got upset back in the day when Diaboromon was a tournament pack promo. You guys remember that? People got pissy about that. Well, I'm going to take it one step further. Diaboromon, in my opinion, yeah, the community was upset. And I understand it completely because you could not play Diaboromon unless you had that card. And Diaboromon was a fan favorite. That's okay. But we are way further than we are way further in time. There used to be days in Yu-Gi-Oh, the crush card days, where if you won a crush card, you had a significant advantage over your opponent by a lot. That has kind of calmed down a little bit, but we can find recent examples in Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and even I get Magic to an extent. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh for sure though. Pokemon, the last big tournament, the Worlds or whatever, they released a healing card that's actually playable in a meta deck that's tier 1 right now. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. Someone can let me know in the comments. But do you need the card to play the deck? No. If you play the deck, does it work better with that card? It sure does. Can you play the tier 1 deck and not worry about it? Yes, you can. Not a big deal. Yu-Gi-Oh had a similar example, like 3-4 years ago. Chaos Dragon, the Emperor of Armageddon. That was a YCS prize card. At least $2,000 a pop at one point. There was a tier 1 deck going around. It was Thunder Dragons, basically. Chaos Thunder Dragons. And it was a tier 1 deck. Could you play the deck without that prize card? Yes, you could. If you played the deck with that prize card, did it make your deck better? Yes, it did. But could you play in the tier 1 deck without it and be fine? Absolutely, you could. This is going to sound crazy, but why can't Digimon do something like that? People are going to eat me out in the comments for saying that. I know. But, like, it would be worth it for people that care about that kind of thing. I think it's a bit of an extreme, but, like, Digimon is a good thing where, like, almost any deck can win. Almost any deck can do well. So, in the off chance that they do release a regional promo or something exclusive to regional promos, that's good for a certain archetype. But if you can't afford that card, you play another tier 1 deck and be fine. I think that's healthy. Not like Crush Card, where if you had a Crush Card in your deck back in the day, you beat everyone, basically. It really helped your chances, and it was that black and white. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. Anything is better than this garbage, in my opinion. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Make the prize support better. If they're not going to give us tournament exclusive cards like that. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that. So don't worry about that. But they can give us better reprints. Like, come on, Bandai. Give us something worth actually playing for. And I know I'm not the only person that feels that way. And if you do feel that way, let me know in the comments.